Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Benchwire Season 2, Episode 20. We got a lot to talk about today, and once again, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Justin. How we doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I don't think I'm much of a myth. I'm in the flesh, so
Oh,
to
you're in the
speak.
flesh? No, you're virtual,
I'm
though. You're not in
sure
the flesh. It's virtual.
virtual, but in my room, I'm not a myth. You hear that?
Yeah, I could do that, too.
Yeah, yeah, but
Skull.
I'm here.
Skull. Oh, wait, they're not in the playoffs. We're going to talk
They're not
about
in the playoffs.
But we're going to talk about the divisional round. I'm going to recap that, and you
Yeah.
guys get our insights about that, what we think about all the games that went down, and then we'll talk about some coaching news that went down, and then maybe we'll have some new segments. So, yeah, stay tuned for the whole episode. It's going to be great. It's going to be
For
dandy.
sure, for sure.
So let's talk about the first game that went down on Saturday. It was them Houston Texans traveling up to Baltimore, and they lost. It was unfortunate, but it was a close game in the first half, right? It was like 10-10 at halftime, but Baltimore, they took care of business. They beat down on them Houston Texans. CJ Stroud and the Texans are now officially eliminated from the playoffs. It was a good run for the Houston Texans, beating the Browns at home in the wild card round, first win under the DeMeco Ryans era. So good for them, but they couldn't get the
Yeah,
job done against, probably the Super Bowl favorites right now. And the Baltimore Ravens, they were humming on all cylinders. It was a great game. Lamar, he was making plays on the ground, through the air. Like everyone was getting involved. The defense, the blitzing, like it was all so beautiful. And they want to make a playoff push. I think they could be the Super Bowl favorite. We'll talk about that. But yeah, once again, the Texans, they had a great season. D'Amico Ryans and company. The future's looking bright in Houston. Um, any thoughts about that game, Justin?
the first thing that pops to mind is the Ravens defense, Super Bowl caliber, legit. They got two bona fide linebackers that are going to be dogs in the AFC Championship game coming up.
The Hawks.
I mean, really, if you look at it, the two teams, I know we're going to talk about the Niners later, but I just want to shout them out real quick. But if you look at the two teams that are hosting, they have both the Niners and the Ravens, two studs at linebackers, both teams. Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith. Yeah, I wish a certain team wouldn't neglect that position. A certain team in Philadelphia, to be exact, I wish they wouldn't neglect
They
it
used to have some
because you just got to
linebackers.
look at it. You need
They let him
linebackers.
go. They
You
let
need
go
it.
of TJ
You
Edwards.
need
Kaiser White.
Except, but it's not about the Eagles. It's all about the Ravens.
Yeah.
The
They're
biggest
eliminated. Don't
addition,
talk about that.
the biggest addition, man, is I think Lamar Jackson's not the kind of guy to throw over 4,000 yards. I think he's. You could correct me if I'm wrong. You might be more the sack I am, but 3,100 yards passing, I think he has throwing.
Good old
And
Google don't hurt. Let's see.
yeah, I think he's
Uh,
just over 3K. But yeah, he has the best receivers he's had. But the biggest addition to me is Tom Monken that he got from Georgia. Coached the dogs down there. Their offense was elite with Stetson Bennett and those boys. He's got Lamar Jackson playing at the MVP level that we saw from
yeah,
a
they're
few years ago, where he threw for his most touchdowns. He led the league in the touchdowns, which is impressive. Which I'm going to correlate to the passing yards. When you throw under 4K and you let your first MVP season, you led the league in touchdowns. It's ridiculous. It's because he's a dual threat, he doesn't rely just on his arm. So yeah, he's a fun watch. First half was close. It was 10-10. And I'm like, oh, maybe Stroud and those boys can do it. But I saw the clip of Lamar Jackson. It's like I was cussing people out in the locker room. We have to play better. We're not playing up to our standard, our level we played it all year. And yeah, the offense got it going. And the defense didn't give up any points. Their only touchdown was that kick return, the punt return, I mean.
yeah,
But
they're
yeah,
balling.
that defense. Man, yeah. But I gotta say, hell of a season by D'Amico. First year, he probably going to win Coach of the Year now. I've been saying Kevin Stefanski. I think he's up there, but
Yeah, he beat them in the
we know
playoffs.
he had to go with injuries. But I think they're going to give it to D'Amico because Texans were had the number 2 pick in the draft, and they brought him to the divisional round. That's impressive. So they nailed the draft. They nailed it with Stroud and Will Anderson. They both showed up and played well, I thought, in that game. And yeah, their future's bright. But yeah, I gotta give credit to the Ravens. That offense, Lamar's mixing it around, and they're gonna have Mark Andrews back this week. And Isaiah Likely's been a nice filler for Mark Andrews there. It said they can run a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. It gives Lamar another option to go to now. So, which could be pivotal when you play these good teams coming up. When you play the Chiefs next week, if you make it to the Super Bowl, you have to deal with the Niners or the Lions too. So having another pass catching option like that is big. But yeah, credit to them. They nailed it. Their defense is legit with Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald's been great too. Yeah, Harbaugh's just been consistent, good coach. Credit to their organization, one of the best ran teams in the NFL. Just you just got to tip your cap. It's a title ship. They made it to the playoffs last year with Tyler Huntley. And Lamar missed a lot of time too. So they're doing it right in Baltimore. So they might get a Super Bowl now to show it, which I'd be for it too. I'm a Lamar Jackson guy, so that'd be cool.
So for that stat, passing yards, he had 3,600. So almost 3,700. It was like 3,678. And they had 24 passing touchdowns, 7 picks. So not too shabby. But yeah, he
maybe
balled out in that game.
I was thinking it was MVP season, probably through 3,100.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Ravens, their future is bright. They keep this core intact. Lamar just got paid, right? You got some young bucks on that offense. That offensive line's still young. Tyler Linderbaum, Ronnie Stanley, like they got some studs. Zay Flowers, pretty good. And, get those running backs healthy, J.K. Dobbins and all them boys. They're looking good. Maybe they get Derrick Henry next year. That's a possibility.
Tom Monken was big for sure. If you look around the league, like I'll just use the Eagles since I watch them the most. Like Brian Johnson's the kind of coordinator where, you look around, Jalen Hurts career season, throwing the ball, whatever, and then you look at AJ Brown career year. But you look at the Ravens, it's like they distribute it so well and they do it the right way. Where it's not about the individual stats. They don't. Odell's not breaking his career highs from New York or whatever, and same with Aguilar and those guys. But
yeah,
what they are doing though is they're hosting the AFC Championship games. So I think that was the biggest thing, was just getting him. He knows how to maximize Lamar, play to his strengths, run the ball more. They use his legs now and then, but I feel like he's becoming more in the pocket and just looking downfield for guys. He trusts them. His weapons have been the best of his career right now, even though they're not great, not top level talent. Odell's at the tail end of his career,
getting up there in age.
Yeah, but yeah, the biggest thing was getting him. I think from Georgia, that was the best thing they did.
Yeah. I feel like he should be getting some head coaching opportunities, but I don't even think he's getting interviewed. I don't think he's getting looks at all.
He really should be. I think he's a great coordinator.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll wrap up the Ravens. We'll probably be talking about them more in the next podcast. So a little sneak peek of our love for the Ravens. Talk about the Saturday night game, the NFC showdown against the 7th seed Packers, going up against the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers. It was a close game. Like, the Niners were on upset alert most of the game, but then they came crawling back. Brock Purdy had that game-winning drive, and they're still standing. They're playing the Lions this week, NFC Championship game, so that should be fun. But before we get into that, let's give credit to Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love for a hell of a season. I did not expect Jordan Love to be this great. I was one of those doubters of Jordan Love in the beginning of the season, and man, he won me over, man. Like, balling out. I think he had like over 30 touchdowns, almost 4,000 yards, something like that. But going on from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, of and not missing a beat and actually making the playoffs this time around. They didn't make the playoffs last year. So you got to give credit to Matt LaFleur and that staff. That team is very young. They're one of the youngest teams in the league, and their future's looking bright. I think Jordan Love is going to get that payday if he continues to, perform the way that he has so far this year. And the weapons and all that the GM, the front office, like that's another great organization right there. Always successful, always in the playoff picture. They just got to find a way to get over the hump. I think they will. It's just their first true test, getting in the divisional round and losing to the Niners, the fashion that they did. Maybe they could find a new kicker. Kicker blew them the game. But the future's looking bright for Green Bay, so gotta give them credit where credit is due. Do you want to talk about the Packers and their success this season?
Of course I do. Yeah, I think the kicker is Anders Carlson, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
think it's
missed the
his
kick. I think that's a
Daniel
standout with
Carlson
all.
brother.
I think that's a standout with all the games is not so good kicking. Like Fairbairn missed a kick. I don't think that matters much because
Yeah,
they
they got
lost that game by
smoked.
a sizable chunk at the end. But Anders Carlson was a big one, and yeah, and then we'll get to the other one. We know what that is.
No,
But
we'll get to that.
yeah, Packers. Packers had a hell of a year. I thought that was the most entertaining game I watched this weekend. Honestly, I know
Yeah,
Chiefs Bills there. I think that was
that
the
was
most
pretty good
entertaining
too.
because of the shock factor. Because we have so much respect for Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers, and that whole team. Yeah, I guess when we were looking at the game, like, wow, that fourth quarter, wow, the Packers can do it. So credit to Matt LaFleur. They got just scheming guys open. That 2-point conversion, that Aaron Jones wide open, butt booty naked open. It's
Butt
ridiculous.
booty naked.
And yeah, he just gets his guys open. Like Musgrave was making plays, Jaden Reed making plays, Romeo, art thou Romeo Dobbs making
Where art
plays.
thou, Romeo?
Yeah, you making plays.
He was balling, man. Hell of a season
And
for him.
what's the other guy? Wicks, number 13. He's pretty good
Yeah,
plays.
Jaden
Yeah.
Reed.
Yeah, and their youngest team, they're like 24, 25 years of age total. And the future's bright, and they're going to pay Jordan Love. I did see the reports there. They're going to pay him top money, and I think he's earned it. I think he only get better as the years go on. Aaron Rodgers,
Definitely
when he
not
took
like
over
50 million plus. So
they didn't make it with Aaron Rodgers when he took over for Favre. They missed the playoffs, and he made it to the playoffs. Not that matters. He's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers. Too early to tell. Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great quarterback, but a hell of a start for taking over for all-time great like that. So Packers get it right at quarterback yet again. Tip my cap off to him. But the defense has been playing a lot better. Like that's a team that gave up a good amount of points to Bryce Young. Baker Mayfield threw for a perfect passer rating on them. But Baker's been balling. But perfect passer rating is ridiculous. You weren't doing much of anything. But you roll into the past two games against Dallas and San Francisco, you do a pretty good job on defense. You give your offense a chance to win you the game. And yeah, the kicker missed it and blew it, but they got a lot to look forward to. And it's gonna be interesting to see what the Packers do this offseason because Jair Alexander on Instagram kind of put out like a
yeah,
cryptic to Lambeau Field to the people of Green Bay, saying thank you for 6 years. So
but the
it's hinting that
pack is back.
he may be out. I don't know. We'll see. It's a little bit
I'll
weird,
take
but
him.
I thought he played pretty well. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Jair Alexander, what they do in the draft, what they do this offseason. I'm sure they have some cap space to work with. And yeah, how are they going to improve the team? They probably need to get a little stronger on defense.
Just a little
But
bit.
yeah, Matt LaFleur, tip my cap off to him. Hell of a coach for sure. Out-coached McCarthy. I got into a little battle there with Kyle Shanahan. The only thing is, I thought they should have kicked that one field goal instead of going for that QB sneak 4th and 1. I got a little argument with my roommate about that, but I thought they should have kicked the field goal because now they would have been tied 24-24, and that would have been a game-winning field goal. So they would have went into overtime.
Ooh.
So that's what I was thinking. But other than that, I get it. You have to be aggressive, but I thought I didn't think that was the right time to do
A little questionable
it. So
decision right there.
credit to the Packers. 49ers, they look good. They figured it out a little bit. But Brock Purdy, I don't know what it is. Does he struggle in the rain a little bit? I guess he does. I guess he doesn't throw the football as well in the rain. He had some couple errant throws. He threw it high, he threw it low, missed some guys that were open. Yeah, I think he'll have a better week this outing. I think the Lions' pass defense could be a little bit exposed. So I think Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, they'll figure it out. They'll get back into sync, into rhythm. My man's George Kittle, one of my favorite players in this whole entire league, balled
Dog.
out. Top 3 tight end. I may put him at number 1 because I love him that much, but I digress. Another certain tight end balled out this weekend too. I can't deny it.
Yeah, he's back to
So
his normal self. We'll talk about that.
McCaffrey. And I thought when they lost Debo, I'm like, ooh, this is really a chance for the Packers to take advantage of this. Because
Yeah.
now this Debo news might impact our predictions in the next video. So stay tuned.
Will it?
And with
We
that
don't
being
know.
said, Christian McCaffrey, dog.
He is a
And
dog.
yeah, they took care of business in the second half. So yeah,
He
the
was
49ers
massaging that
are
leg the
improving
whole
it.
time. See that shit? He was like,
Oh,
got the
yeah.
massage gun. He got, ooh.
Yeah.
They were dealing with the elements,
Yeah,
man. They were hurt, but they found a way to scrap their way and get the win. So you got to give them credit.
And Drake Greenlaw, that son of a gun. 2 interceptions, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah. Dude.
That's one
He
guy.
wanted to get that pick
man.
6. You see
Yeah,
that?
out of everyone, him? Really? Why that guy, man? Come on.
I know. Him and the big Dom fiasco.
Not even that. He threw punches at my boy Kenny G in the NFC Championship game
Kenny
last year.
G.
Not
Kenny
over.
G needs to be a free agent. He's
I
all
know,
right.
but he's a hothead, though. I don't like it.
But he's a good hothead.
Good job, Niners.
Good job,
And
Niners.
they'll be hosting again this week. We'll see. I don't know what the forecast is for that, but
It's going to be sunny. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on Brock Purdy. I know, crazy, but
I'm sold.
Good.
Top 10 quarterback.
Good.
He's top 10.
I don't know. He's
He'll
good,
prove
but
it this Sunday.
I don't know. If he all right, we'll see.
Top 10.
I think he has a better game. Well, I think he has a better game.
Is he top 10?
Is he top 10?
I think he's top 10.
Jordan Love's better than him, bro.
He didn't win.
Yeah, but Jordan Love wins if he's on the 49ers.
Yeah, but Jordan Love wasn't in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, because he wasn't on the 49ers. Bro. They weren't winning because he doesn't have McCaffrey to hand it off to every time.
But he's got Aaron Jones. He's pretty good. He's top 10 back.
Debo. Oh, who?
He's got Aaron Jones. He's top 10 back.
He's been a top 10 back the last 3 weeks. He's been a top 10 back the last 3 weeks. Not
he's
the
still
whole
a top.
season.
He wasn't healthy.
He got hurt and then came back. You know this from fantasy. He got hurt. He came back and then he was okay. And then he's
still a top 10 back.
Last 3 weeks he went back
Because he was healthy. He's healthy. He wasn't healthy in the season. He's still top 10 when healthy.
Okay, he doesn't have fine. He has a top 10 back, but he doesn't have he doesn't have a top 3 tight end, a top 15 receiver in Ayuk, a top 10 utility, whatever receiver in Debo.
But he has David Bakhtiari. He's got an anchor.
He doesn't have Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings.
He has Trent Williams. What the hell? You're not going to win that argument, bro. I think Jordan Love is more talented. But
he could be.
He is already, bro. He is. He passed down.
You got to give credit for Brock Purdy being Mr. Irrelevant. Like last pick in the draft.
I do give him credit.
Top 10 quarterback.
I do give him credit. I feel like anybody could go. Any college quarterback could go in there and do what Brock Purdy's doing.
Trey Lance couldn't do it.
Trey Lance is a different style. I'm talking about like pocket guys.
Any pocket quarterback could be successful in that offense.
Carson Wentz could do well in that offense. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy G could. So.
Yeah, exactly. And now he gets benched for Aiden O'Connell or whatever.
Hey, that's because Antonio Pierce wanted to create a spark.
That's what happens, man. When you leave San Fran, that system. It's the system. He's a game manager.
Brock Purdy will show you why he's a top 10 quarterback this weekend. That's all.
He'll manage the game brilliantly. He's a brilliant game manager. He's not.
Oh,
he's not gonna win because of Brock Purdy.
Yes, he will. Yes, they will.
Oh, you never hear on any of the talking by the pundits. You never hear them say, "Oh, we won because of Brock Purdy." You always hear the others. You always hear McCaffrey. You always hear Kittle. You hear Ayuk. You hear that defense, and then it's like, okay, Brock Purdy.
But Brock Purdy's the one who gets him the ball. He distributes it.
Who schemes him butt booty wide open? You could throw him the ball. You could do it. You could throw him the ball.
I could do it. You're hating on Brock Purdy right now. I don't like this Brock Purdy disrespect.
I'm saying you could throw him the ball.
But Brock.
All right. If Brock Purdy's top 10, you're talking about guys that transcend the game. Put them in any system, they play well. If you were to put Brock Purdy in New York in that system, and you were to put Daniel Jones by your definition would be top 10, and Brock Purdy would not be. No. That's by your. I guess that's what you're saying. Yes.
Brock Purdy's top 10.
Daniel
Jones is not top 10.
He would be. I'm saying if they flip systems, Daniel Jones is in San Fran. Brock Purdy's now your quarterback in New York. Completely different. Because one, now he doesn't have the legs to scramble out of the pocket.
You could say that about any quarterback. You could say that about put Mahomes on the Giants. He won't be in the top 10.
No, but he'll still make plays. He'll still make plays though.
I guess.
He'll do with what he has. No, that's why he's different. He's different. That's not good. I'm talking about two guys kind of similar talent, skill set, Jones, Purdy. If you flip them, Daniel Jones will have the Niners in the NFC Championship game too. I'm telling you.
I don't know. He turns the ball over more.
Yeah, but because we never seen him scheme, he doesn't have. You Giants fans always complain. We don't give him what the Eagles have. Give him the Eagles' offensive line. It'll show you what.
I do complain about that.
But if he's on, but now if he goes to San Francisco system, it's like, what? No, he's not gonna. He turns the ball.
We'll never know.
You can't have it both.
These are all hypothetical.
You have it both ways. It can't. If you say that about him being on the Eagles, you can't not say that about the Niners. The Niners are a better team this year.
Yeah, this year. I don't know.
Yeah. You can't say that about one team and a team that's better. You can't be like, oh, well, no, he might turn the ball over.
I think he would still turn the ball over. But that's just me. But all I want to say is Brock Purdy is playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion.
We're going off of stats. We're going off of record. You probably do have.
He was in the MVP conversation.
But I'm saying if you put a Daniel Jones or someone like that, Daniel Jones would probably be top 10.
Now let's say this. So Daniel Jones in that playoff game in the rainy weather, he would have had a perfect game and not turned the ball over.
Sure.
I don't believe that. He's known.
Sure, he has a running back. He has McCaffrey that could help him out. And the thing that he has that Purdy doesn't, he has legs that can help him too. So it makes him more dynamic to stop.
He still turned that ball over.
Plus he doesn't. When is Purdy taking a deep shot? It's not like Daniel Jones has to take deep shots. He has to take
deep shots. They're wide open all the time, but like they're deep shots.
No, they're deep. They're shots in the intermediate that they spray out because they're wide open. That they take.
It's the yak. It's the yak.
That's not the difference. It goes on Brock Purdy's yards, but it's a difference between Here, 20 yards, have it. And then they take it 50 yards. It still shows up at 70 yards, but he threw it 20.
That's
I'm not
just
hating on the guy. I like the guy. I don't.
good team.
I'm just saying.
Hey, I want him to put on display why he's a top 10 quarterback. I want to see a deep shot. Maybe they could do that. But I feel like he doesn't have like deep shot receivers. Like he doesn't have an AJ Brown. Maybe you could say Kittle maybe, but like
Ayuk's a deep shot guy. They could use Debo as a deep shot guy, but they don't.
They don't.
Because he's fast.
Like he doesn't
Ayuk
have
is.
like an AJ Brown, a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson. He doesn't have like a top tier receiver to do a deep shot.
They're just go. Those are just go route kind of guys. Deep shot guys are like your Tyreek Hill speed guys. Those are considered deep threats.
Okay. All right. We can end this.
Deshaun Jackson type. Those are deep threats. Yeah. Let us know in the comments who won to win that.
That was a fun debate.
Is Brock Purdy top 10?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, every Eagles fan that's watching this is going to say
down below.
But that's another point, though. When Brock Purdy missed that game, you saw how much he meant to the team. That the NFC Championship last year, you saw how much he meant to the team.
Okay, it's John Johnson, bro. He's better than John Johnson. Congrats.
Josh Johnson.
I don't care. That's exactly my point. Who the hell is that guy?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even remember his name.
He's that much of an impact to the team. Like
it's his coach's fault for
Sam Darnold
a tight end on his son. He took him out of the game.
You think Sam Darnold would be successful as Brock Purdy if he started the whole year?
I don't know what you said.
I said, would Sam Darnold be as successful as Brock Purdy if he started the whole year?
Well, the way it finished out, they might still win the conference. Yeah, they still might beat the Packers.
Okay.
Yeah,
he doesn't turn the ball over.
Sure.
He doesn't see ghosts.
He did with shitty coordinators.
I guess.
You're discrediting Kyle.
We're saying all the quarterbacks.
I'm not here for the Kyle Shanahan slander. You're not here for the Brock Purdy slander. I'm saying it's Kyle Shanahan's system. You're saying no, Brock Purdy. I'm saying it's the system that don't matter. Now, why would they want Tom Brady? Why would they want Tom Brady? Brock Purdy was the guy. Why would they? Why would
Tom Brady's the GOAT?
They were trying to get Tom Brady, right? Because they don't believe. They don't. Yeah, because he's the greatest of all time, right? He's the greatest. But if Brock Purdy was so damn good, if he was Patrick Mahomes, if he was top 10, right? If he was top 10, you want to be asking Tom Brady to come in, right? If he was top 10, why would you do that to your top 10 quarterback? But the fact he's not, he's making $875K a year, you can afford to do that. You can let Brady come in. So, in theory, Kyle Shanahan's system may make him a top 10 quarterback, but the Niners don't view him that way because they want to ask 45-year-old Tom Brady to come and play quarterback for him.
Well, yeah.
So he's going to command Lamar Jackson money when he's not going to get paid that. The Niners are going to get paid
that because he wants to win multiple.
They're going to say no. You're a product of our system, right? You weren't the system like the top elite guys are. They're getting paid that. You're saying you're a product of the system. Yeah, he's not going to get paid $250 like a lot of these guys are. You're not going to make.
I feel like he doesn't want to get paid $250.
Why would he not want to get paid $250?
Because
he could say I took. He has a case. I could say I could take you to 2 NFC Championship games. He would have a case for it. Did Josh Allen take the Bills to 2 straight AFC Championship games? No, he did not.
Because Niners are better.
Right, the team's better, but Josh Allen, we can all agree, is a way better quarterback, right? Just on the talent alone.
Yeah.
So that's my point, right? Josh Allen is what the Bills' engine. The engine's not so much on Brock Purdy; it's so much more on the playmakers he has in Kyle Shanahan's system. It's more if you take McCaffrey and you extract him out, that's a totally different offense, right? I think McCaffrey's more the focal point of that offense, and then that opens up the passing game, the play action game with Purdy that gets guys open for him to hit. So I'm not giving him credit; he's doing what he's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, top 10 is a debate. Would I put him in there? Maybe, but is he top 10 talent? No. Is he top 10 based off of production? Yeah, you probably have to look at it. But is it top 10 because of him, or is it because of this system? I opt on the system, where I give Kyle Shanahan the credit more so than I do Brock Purdy.
Okay. I'm done with this debate. We got to move on to other games.
All right, let's move on. Comment down below who won the debate.
Bucks went to Detroit, played in Lions, Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the job done, the Lions. They beat them Bucks. It was kind of close, I think, most of the way. And then the Bucks at the end of the game, they had the opportunity to call a timeout. They did not because they knew they were going to lose. Todd Bowles was like, I'm accepting defeat. We're going to lose. But, yeah, Baker, he had a great game until that final drive. That final drive, costly turnover, and the Lions win. They nailed it out. Jared Goff and company got the job done. Got to give credit to Jared Goff. He's a top 10 quarterback. I'll say it. Top 10 quarterback. I don't know if we're going to get another debate about that.
Yeah, I'd rather have him over Purdy. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, he's better than Purdy. Yeah.
But the Lions, they're moving on. They're playing Brock Purdy. We'll see who's the better quarterback on Sunday. We will see. It'll be a good test. And got to give credit to the Bucks. Everyone was saying Baker's a bum, he's washed, and all that, but I think he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. I think he earned a second contract with the team. He had a hell of a season. But the Bucks, they always find ways to fight and stay in these games, and you got to give credit to that staff, Todd Bowles and them. And then Mike Evans, he is probably one of the most consistent, productive receivers in this league, and he's going to be a free agent. I hope he signs back with Tampa Bay. I want him to stay there his whole career because he's been a hell of a player for him and for that franchise. I think he has like 7 or 8 seasons with 1,000+ yards. But that defense too, like because of Todd Bowles and that staff, always balling and all that. But yeah, sucks to see the Bucks lose. If you're a Bucks fan, you know, going from Tom Brady thinking he could always go to Super Bowl year in year out to now having Baker. But Baker, he stepped in there and he delivered for the most part this year. They didn't think they were making the playoffs. They thought they were going to be not even make the playoffs. They thought they were going to have like a top 15 pick this year. And no, Baker showed up and played, balled out, and they won the division. So you got to give credit to that team. But the Lions, they're moving on, and they're playing the Niners. So, yeah. Any thoughts about the game?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Any thoughts about the game? Was that lag out?
I was just making sure you're okay. Yes, I am. You lagged out there for a second. But yeah, so let me talk about that for a game. Let me talk about the game. Man, seeing CJ Gardner-Johnson, seeing that back and forth between Baker
that was so beautiful.
him,
so beautiful.
Picking him off, and then going out of the sideline, he sees Baker, he flips him the ball like this. He's like, here, Baker, have it. He threw it. You know what? I watch your film, huh? Yeah, you said I don't watch film? I just picked you off. Take that ball back. Yeah, I like that. I like that moxie. Yeah. Was it cocky? Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, Jared Goff played good. I think Jahmyr Gibbs was the feature back. I didn't see too much with David Montgomery, right?
He should be the feature back.
Like that one goal line play where they're like 4th and 1. They ran it with their third string, which is interesting. It was like they took it out of
Greg Reynolds, Hard Knocks legend. That's why.
They took it down as Shane Steichen's playbook. Except for throwing it, they ran it. And we know how that turned out with the Colts, but I don't think they caught the Buccaneers off guard, right? They weren't expecting a handoff to a third string running back. Really, you would put Gibbs or Montgomery in there? No, that was interesting. So credit to Ben Johnson. Good job, Ben.
You're gonna get a job with Washington, Ben. Yes.
I think so too. I do think so. The defense played pretty good in the first half, and then Tampa Bay started to make adjustments, started getting rolling. I called that Mike Evans touchdown. That was big. That put him within striking distance. But then they went for 2, and I was like, no, because my score prediction was on the 24, and they decided to go for 2, and they didn't get it. So I was like, no, my score prediction for Benchwire. And I'm like, haha, they deserve to lose now. So I didn't get that. I didn't get that thought process by Bowles and the coaching staff in all seriousness. But
yeah, there's some questions.
Credit to him. Bowles saved his job. Saved his job as far as I'm concerned. I don't think their OC's getting. I think he got interviews, at least virtual interviews, but I don't think he's like a prime candidate for teams with coaching vacancies. But he's done a good job. He came over from the Seattle system. Did a fairly good job, I thought. But yeah, I thought it was a good game. Amon-Ra making plays. Sam Laporta, top 5 tight end already, first year. I'm going on that book.
Better than Goddard.
But Steve might disagree with me and say product of the Ben Johnson system. But
yeah,
no,
exactly.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it does. He's an Iowa tight end.
Those Iowa tight ends, man, are different. Different.
Yeah, they're dogs.
Different. That's all I gotta say about the game. Not my best astute analysis, but enough said. It's time for NFC Championship football for Detroit, right? This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, well, they get over the hump.
I actually
go to Super Bowl.
Analysis. This was all because of Eminem. Eminem's actually the system. He said it was all him.
It really.
He basically tweeted out, "I won." So it's Eminem, guys. Eminem's actually
did it.
The guy that's sparking the engine that could, the little engine that could. He is the guy that is making this all happen.
You better perform at halftime for this game. You better perform.
Yeah, it's all because of him, bro. He's him.
Yeah, they better not lose themselves on the NFC Championship.
In the music, in the moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, they better not throw up mom spaghetti too. But
yeah,
and NFC Championship or else. Yeah, maybe Brock Purdy will slip on the spaghetti.
Well, Brock Purdy will eat
that. Not the good gabagool, no.
Not the good
gabagool,
no. No.
Oh no. What is this podcast into?
It's this is a fun episode. We're having fun. We're experimenting. I like it.
And we didn't even get to our special topic.
Yeah, we're not even on that.
We got to do one more game first. Right?
Yeah.
There's another game.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I think this was the best game of the weekend. Like I said in the last podcast, Chiefs at their Buffalo Bills. Yeah, so the Chiefs, they got the job done. I guess they pulled off the upset, even though, they're always the top team in the league every year in the AFC. They beat the Buffalo Bills, the 2 seed, as the 3rd seed. Andy Reid and company, Patrick Mahomes getting the job done once again. I think the moment was too much for Stephon Diggs in this game. He was a no-show. Like, he had either 2 or 3 catches, I think, for 20-something yards. And that big moment, Josh Allen threw that ball right where it needed to be, and Diggs could not find the ball and track it down, and that was pretty much the game right there. Even though, Tyler Bass missed the field goal, yada, yada, yada. But all in all, Josh Allen had a great game. You can't say it was his fault, that reason they lost that game. You can't. Sean McDermott, still a top 10 coach in this league. You do not fire him. He's still great. I feel like they still need to build a better roster. It's going to be harder now with the Josh Allen cap hit. But I feel like Brandon Beane, the GM, will find ways to make that roster better yet. But this was a season that they started out 6-6 and found a way to salvage it. So like you got to give credit to Sean McDermott and that staff. But Von Miller, like he had a very disappointing season. He had 0 sacks this year. He was in and out of the lineup as healthy scratches. He might be on his way out of Buffalo. I think he had like 5 solo tackles this year. It was some crazy, shitty stat line. And for a guy you paid a lot of money to not show up, that's very concerning. I know he's coming off a torn ACL and all that, and he's getting up there in age, but like you paid that man top dollar and he had a very disappointing season. So I feel like they need to go out and get some pass rushers because I feel like that's one of the parts on the defense that they're missing. And then the defense as a whole, they've been injury riddled all year. So that kind of hurt them in that game. You're missing your starting corner. You're missing your starting safety. Like that hurt. That hurt a lot. You're missing some starting D linemen. But all in all, you
The
can't.
Milano dude. Milano.
And you miss Milano linebacker as well. There was a lot of Milano. All right. Yeah, they were missing the Milano. But okay. I didn't know we're bringing props into this. Yeah, but they were injury riddled the whole season towards that second half of the year on defense. They were still finding ways to win these games. And the questionable decision, I did not agree with this. It would have been cool if they converted it, but going for 4th and 3, running a fake punt with Mr. DeMar Hamlin. I respect it was with DeMar Hamlin, right? They want to make a feel-good story if he converts that first down. But you don't do that at your 30-yard line on your side of the field. You don't do that. That was an awful play call. They got bailed out, though, by the McCole Hardman fumble that resulted in a touchback. So that was interesting. They got really bailed out in that situation. But the Bills, I think they will be back. I think they will be back better than ever next year. They'll find a way. Brandon Beane's a great GM in this league, and I'm liking what they're doing there in Buffalo. Josh Allen, I think it's like, what is it, his sixth year now? Something like that. 5th or 6th year already. He's getting old, man. It's the Madden curse. He won't be on the Madden cover next year, so they'll be fine. Credit to Brandon Beane and that staff for like finding a way to hire Joe Brady as the OC and still find a way to salvage the season and get in that 2 seed, win the AFC East. They'll be back next year. The roster was kind of depleted with the defense being all hurt and all that, but you got to give credit to the Bills. I don't know if Tyler Bass is back next year. He's a solid kicker, but I feel like there's going to be better kickers out there on the market, so they might give them a tryout. But, yeah, this game is not to blame on Josh Allen. And the Chiefs, they're going back to the AFC Championship for, I think, the 6th time. 6th time? How many years has Patrick Mahomes been playing? I don't know. But he's made the AFC Championship game every year in his career as a starter. It's going to be a fun game. Watching them Baltimore Ravens go up against the Kansas City Chiefs, I'll be watching.
He did an excellent job. Now it's time to call your ass out for being a front runner for the Bills.
Hey, all right.
How could you? And the pundits, a lot of pundits picking the Bills. I'm like, are you guys joking? Have you seen Josh Allen? Josh Allen played good football. Let's not get it wrong.
He didn't turn the ball over.
The guy turns the ball over. And you're sitting up here and you're talking about Sean McDermott shouldn't get fired. The Chiefs' offense was been dog, bull, terrible offense this whole year. And guess who their best game when it mattered most? Guess who it was against? And who's running that defense? That's right, your boy Sean McDermott. Now, you bring up a valid point, right? Injuries did happen. It happened to Milano dude, right? Milano dude got hurt. It happened to the Tre'Davious of White dude. He got hurt. The Hyde of Mike got hurt. So, Jordan Phillips, whatever. Yes. So you're like the injuries, but man, you couldn't do anything to the scheme, right? You couldn't take Kelsey away. I said, Stephen Ampo, Kelsey is due for a big game. I said that in the prediction video. He's due. What did he do? He popped out. Why? Not because Tay was there. It's because my boy Jason, Fat Batman Kelsey was there, right? Celebrating with Bill's Mafia,
Enjoying
tailgating with them,
retirement.
going for the Chiefs. The energy he was giving me, it was awesome. And I'm like, that's a guy that can play one more year. That's what I took from it. He can play one more
He's
season.
enjoying that
He
retirement
can
life. He
do it.
ain't coming back.
He can do it, man. He still got that juice,
You
man. He
saw
can play one more
Sirianni's
year.
coming back. Mm-mm.
Even little brother said that. Even little brother. Sirianni will send him a keg of beer and be like, all right, I'm back. Yeah, so that's all good. It's all good with Kel's boys, man. Shout out to both of them. Yeah, but Mahomes, bro, playoffs, he owns Josh Allen, man. It's just the way it is. I'm just playing the numbers game. I'm playing the track record game, right? There was a play, right? It was Chris Jones. Yes, he got pressure in the backfield in the pocket, but Josh Allen missed Shakir wide open in the middle of the end zone.
He got
That should have
hit.
been a touchdown. No, he did not get hit on that play. He could have stepped up
He
and
got
could
hit
have
on that
delivered that
play.
ball.
We'll run the tape
Yeah,
back.
because
He
he
got
didn't
hit on
feel
it.
the pocket. He didn't feel the pocket, bro. He could have stepped up and delivered that. But because he didn't move up and he felt his lineman and he felt the pressure by Chris Jones, who's an absolute dog, by the way.
They better
He
resign
couldn't
him.
he couldn't step into the throw. He couldn't deliver a seed to the middle of the end zone to Shakir. He had the window of opportunity to step up and deliver it right over the middle of the end zone to make it an interesting game at that point. But he didn't. The other quarterback, though, he made big plays in the big moments. Not to say Josh Allen did not play a bad game by any means. The defense could have made them better. And he even indicted the head coach when he said he went for a fake punt with DeMar Hamlin for the feel-good story, comeback player of the year story. Well, that's over with now. I'm glad he's
It would have
okay.
been good if it
Really.
wasn't on their side of the field. It would have been fine.
But yeah, it made no sense. That's indicting too. But I'm starting the seat, right? The seat's starting to get it's starting to get a little spicy, right? It's starting to get a little hot. The seat's starting to get a little hot. I can feel it too. My tush is starting to get a little hot. Sean McDermott's seat's getting a little hot in here, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because he had
Getting
some
a little hot.
buffalo wings. That's why
No, he wasn't at B Dubs, bro. No.
they were wild.
Brandon Bean, man, he's got them. He might put some chili beans in those wings because it's a hot seat right now, man. They're gonna come down on him if they don't improve. They come up short again in the playoffs. He's out. He's out of here. You gotta go. You gotta go at that point. Joe Brady was already in the system. They appointed him. Gotta give him credit. Gotta give him a fair round of applause to Joe Brady. Woo! He saved Josh Allen. Why? Didn't make him much of a focal point as much as he was, like throwing the ball, being a gunslinger. He's like, let's use James Cook. Let's hand the ball off to him. He can make plays, right? That helped it up, and it opened up the passing game for him. Even though that kind of, when he made that move, it minimized Stephon Diggs to a certain extent, and he did not show up at all. I think he still left his stuff in Kansas City and Arrowhead like 3-4 years ago when they lost in the AFC Championship. I think he's still on the. I think they need to bring that Stephon Diggs back because I don't know what this new guy is. I think he completely checked out.
Hey, Diggs was good first half of the year.
Yeah, he checked out halfway through.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen.
they fired Ken
He's gonna
Dorsey, and then I don't
He's
want to
gonna
play
put some
anymore.
cryptic rumors. I just tell. I can tell, man.
Hey, he
But
become the
yeah, man,
Giants.
those
I'll take him.
Chiefs are good. I do think with the Chiefs in the AFC Championship against Baltimore makes for a better game, makes for a more interesting game than it would with Josh Allen because I don't see Josh Allen in that offense doing much against that Ravens defense. But I think with Andy Reid and Matt Nagy scheming things up, I think there's more of a chance than with the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. So I think it makes for a better game this Sunday. And I'll be tuning in to that. But credit to the Chiefs for moving on and for the Bills for losing again to Patrick Mahomes. Good job, guys.
Yeah. All right. We're done with the games. We're done with talk about Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and everyone else. Let's talk about some coaches. Enough about the players, right? So what went down? We got some new hirings, right? Raiders Nation. They got Antonio Pierce. He is now the official head coach of them Las Vegas Raiders. Raider Nation, stand up. Be proud. You got a good guy in your locker room now, a culture setter in Antonio Pierce. He was able to change the culture. He was able to beat Mr. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Get ready for that team to be able to do that for years to come. I think he will change the culture in there. They got a new GM, right? They got the Chargers guy, Tom something, Telesco. Tom Telesco, right? They got him in there. He's known for building a great roster. He just wasn't good at hiring coaches. So what the Raiders did first is like, hey, we're going to hire Antonio Pierce. He's our guy. We want him to stay for years to come. Mm-hmm. And then they hired the GM. They hired Tom Telesco. And now he will build the roster. And Antonio Pierce coach up those boys. And the future will be bright in Las Vegas. So I like the move.
Though was terrible.
Yeah, that's okay. But they got Herbert, right? They got Mike Williams. They wanted to keep Eckler instead of Melvin Gordon. He did that. Right?
Well, I don't know what his track record is at drafting, though.
Joey Bosa. Right? Getting Khalil Mack, moving him to L.A. You know, make it – he was a pretty good GM. Right?
You gotta be good drafting, though. That's the number one thing. You gotta be a good personnel.
All right, well, Quinn Johnson wasn't the greatest. I'll admit that. Who else?
That's my point.
Who else? I don't even know. Mike Williams he got. That was his pick. Mike Williams was his pick. Mike Williams. That was his pick.
No, I'm not saying he's bad at drafting. That's what he has to be good at because they need to draft a quarterback and they need to go younger. Right? I think Antonio Pierce was.
Herbert was his pick too. Or
Max Crosby would have won it out if Antonio Pierce wasn't in. So I think that played a part of it too. But I do think Antonio Pierce earned it.
He did earn it.
So gotta give him credit. Gotta give him credit for it. He did earn it. But yeah, well, that's all I got to say about the Raiders. So we got to see what they do this offseason.
Good hire. They just got to get a quarterback in there. Devontae Adams is happy too. So we'll see what they do. We'll see
him happy.
We'll see what moves they make this offseason. But overall, I'm a happy man for Antonio Pierce. He really deserved that job. You know who else deserved his job? He just got it today. Mr. Bryce Callahan.
Bryce Callahan.
No Kellen Moore. Bryce Callahan is a Tennessee Titan. I didn't like the move of Titans firing Vrabel, but I like that they hired Bryce Callahan. Getting a nice offensive, young-minded coach, a guy that coached up Joe Burrow in that Bengals offense, and it was pretty successful, right? Got him to an AFC championship game, got him to some playoff appearances. Hopefully he can do that with Will Levis and company and D-Hop and them boys down there in Tennessee. I don't know what they're going to do at the running back spot now that they're moving off of Derrick Henry, but I like the move. I think it's the right decision for the future because, everyone in the NFL is now moving to young offensive-minded coaches for a team that's young, and they want to build the quarterback. So I think he will help Will Levis succeed there in Tennessee. And I think he's earned a job. He's had a great run with the Bengals, so I like the hire.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Brian Callahan to say it's good or bad. You got to wait in a couple of years to see if it was. He's entering a rebuilding situation. I guess kind of like the Zach Taylor was. You need to find your Joe Burrow, right? Is that going to be Will Levis? It probably could be. You got to build him along the way. You got to give him. Is DeAndre Hopkins staying? I doubt it. You got to fill him up. You got to fortify the line. You got to give him some decent playmakers. They don't have to be all world. They have to be solid. They have to be solid in the roles. Derrick Henry, you're probably going to lose too, so that could hurt. I just don't know about the personnel yet. I don't know if it's going to be a process there. So Brian Callahan's going to have to last a little longer to really get a full judgment of the guy because I don't know about. There's going to be a lot of roster turnover. But yeah, I guess if you're going after the Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow playbook, and you're looking for a marriage, so to speak, between a quarterback and a coach, and Brian Callahan's been kind of there to see the Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor thing. Yeah, it could be a good hire if in that regard. You have a good quarterback relationship and help him develop and grow into a good quarterback. Is that what Will Levis? We'll see. If Brian Callahan wants that guy, it might be his call. It could be the GM's call too. We're not 100% sure, so we'll see. We'll see what they do. Quarterback. We'll see what they do in the off season. They get young. They're probably going to get younger. They're going to let some veterans walk. And yeah, they got a lot of holes to fill. So they're a rebuilding team. But yeah, Brian Callahan's going to start off the rebuild. He's going to get. I think it's going to get a few years there to see what he can do before they really make a good judgment of the guy. So we'll see.
We will see. And then I guess the last headline I guess we can talk about is Nick Sirianni is staying in Philadelphia, and he just fired his offensive coordinator, and he just fired his defensive coordinator, and Sean Desai and Matt Patricia, I guess, and he fired Brian Johnson. So Nick Sirianni, the clown, is staying in Philadelphia. I'm a happy man, but Justin is so sad. He's so sad. Now, Justin, if you had to pick the two perfect candidates to replace those two coordinators, who would you want in Philadelphia to take those spots? That's my question to you.
Oh, gosh. I thought we weren't going to talk about this. It's so
I told you
painful.
this was the last.
It doesn't matter who you hire a coordinator because the root. I went on a whole analogy with the root. What you bring the coordinator is going to cut the weed, right? No, but you're not taking care of the roots. It starts with Sirianni, and then it trickles up, or well, theoretically down, but up in the sense to the upper top to Mr. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. But we'll just use down because roots, kind of thing. But you gotta get round up. You gotta spray that shit. But they didn't. They're going for let's trim that weed down a little.
Let's trim it. It's easy.
So what coordinators are you
easy
gonna
fix?
Hire?
Yeah.
For one, I think they're gonna get Bim Job Cooter.
Oh, Bim. You think is that who you want?
No, it's not who I want. Bill, was it Bob Job Cooter? Bob John?
I don't fucking know.
I don't even know how to say his name.
I'll look it up.
We're gonna
Bim
get
Job. Bim Job.
Bill Job Cooter. I don't know. It's Bob John Cooter. I don't know. The Colts offensive coordinator. He's an okay play caller.
It's Jim Bob Cooter.
Oh yeah, Jim Bob. Yes. Jim Bob, yeah, my guy. Welcome to Philadelphia. I think he might be coming.
Is that who you want? Or
I don't want him. I don't want Cliff Kingsbury. Bieniemy would be interesting. I think they're going to get this Cooter guy. I would take the maybe look at the quarterback coach from Houston. I think he got some interest. Maybe I forget his name. Or Frank Reich, maybe, but
what about Pat Shermer?
No.
Ben McAdoo.
No, I think it's going to be the
Joe
Cooter.
Judge.
It's going to be the Cooter.
No former Giants as your OC.
It's going to be the Cooter, and who are they going to hire at DC? They're going to hire an experienced guy. I think. I think they're either going to go with a Ron Rivera, or there's another one like Mike Zimmer's has been named in like interviews, but some kind of veteran DC. I think they're gonna go with. My candidate would be Denard Wilson, the Ravens secondary coach.
He was on ours last. Yeah,
and I believe what happened was Denard Wilson went up to Mr. Sirianni and he said, I want to be the DC. I want to change up some things of how things are done. Maybe that involves getting rid of the corners that they have already, like a certain James Bradbury for starters. But Nick Sirianni had none of that, and he fired him. And now look at him; he's in Baltimore, and that secondary is elite. So pretty good. I would bring him back. I think
maybe they do
back in the top defense. I think that would be what I would do. I think I would bring in Denard Wilson. But I think what they're gonna do is either side are gonna get a veteran coach in there with coaching experience. So that's why I think they're gonna go with Ron Rivera because my bold
Wink.
prediction. Oh yeah, maybe Wink too. If they go with Wink, that's a whole philosophical change. They're gonna blitz now, and I'm not used to that, so that's gonna be weird. But I'm here for it. But my thing is, they're gonna go with a veteran guy. One at least they could go two veteran with head coaching experience for either coordinator, but I think they're gonna go one. So let me just say they might go Ron Rivera, and they'll go with Jim Bob Cooter. Let's just go with that. They're gonna go with that. And what that's going to do, Sirianni's going to go 2-6. They're going to fire him. And who's going to take the interim job? That's right. Ron Rivera is going to be the interim. I really believe that. And then he's going to interim coach. And then it's going to be a whole new head coaching search next year.
That would be fun. I'm there for it.
Not fun for me because that's what I think is going to happen.
I don't know. Maybe Ron Rivera is the new DC. I don't know. If I had to pick, that's tough because like there's so many candidates available, but they probably try to get like the flashy names. Like Ron Rivera is a possibility. I don't know. Wink. I feel like Wink would want to go there, but I don't know if the Eagles want to make that change to like changing the whole defense and the scheme, like you were saying. But Wink would love to go there to like show Dable, you should have kept me. You should have kept my guys. And he'll bring over the Wilkins brothers as the linebackers coach. He'll bring his staff over. That'll be a nice little feel-good story for Wink Martindale. I feel like that could happen.
Our staff's all gone anyway.
Yeah, so I feel like Wink could happen.
Yeah.
I think Wink could happen for DC. And an offensive coordinator, I don't know. I feel like Frank Reich will be the guy. Frank Reich, Nick Sirianni loves Frank Reich, and Frank Reich could become the interim head coach instead of Ron Rivera. So I feel like that could happen as well.
It could happen.
So that's my predictions. Frank Reich as OC and Wink Martindale as defensive coordinator. That's what I think.
I think you're more optimistic than I am for some reason because I would live with that, but I don't see it.
You don't see it because those guys don't want to be there. I feel like Wink would want to be there to wreak havoc on the Giants for 2 games a year. So
they might get Cliff Kingsbury, but I'm not sure.
I don't know because I saw he was looking for the Steelers, looking at the Steelers job, and who was the other team? The Cardinals? Not the Cardinals. No, Bears.
Yeah, Bears. Yeah,
I feel like he'll go to the Bears. I could see that happen if they get Caleb.
Yeah,
very possible. But yeah, so that's what I think. Frank Reich, OC, Wink Martindale will be your DC. So we will see.
It's a special topic time.
Yeah, it's special time.
Ooh.
So tell them all about it.
First off, some breaking news happened. We're shifting sports here. Breaking news: Reese Hoskins has signed with the Milwaukee Brewers for 2 years, $34 million.
He did?
So, bye, Reese Hoskins. We love you. We miss you.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, I'm not making that up.
When did that break?
When you're talking about how great Brandon Bean is.
Oh,
25 minutes ago.
No.
So goodbye, Reese. We missed you in Philly.
Can we talk about other breaking news too?
Huh?
All right, we'll talk about this.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see. What do the Phillies do at first base? That's going to be Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's going to be the everyday first baseman now. That's why they didn't bring back Reese. So they may get another outfielder there, but that remains to be seen. So, but I'm not diving into baseball per se, but that's what I wanted to bring up as Phillies fans. So best of luck to Reese. I thought he would go to Chicago, but he's going with the Cubs, but he's going to Milwaukee. All right, he's going with the Brewers. They have an interesting team, but
that's
my topic of the day. Mr. Joel Hans Embiid last night. He dropped 70 points, 18 rebounds, an absolute masterclass. One of the greatest
Yeah.
coaches in our lifetime. Greg Popovich said, I told Wembanyama we're going to torch his ass, right? We're going to back him down.
No, I
We're going
said
to dunk.
hammer his ass.
We're going to hammer him. Yeah. Same thing. Same kind of thing I was going for. Right? Yeah. So he dominated 70, 18, and 5. He did it in front of former Sixers head coach Brett Brown. It was a nice full circle moment.
It was. It was like Lion King.
It was. It was a nice full circle moment there. 70's ridiculous for a center. He only shot 2 3-pointers. He thought he might have torched it from outside. No. He only made one. And he had like 22 made free throws. So he was dominant in the paint. He had the Kobe mid-range going. He has a Hakeem Olajuwon, Dirk Nowitzki, skill sets and moves in the box and the paint. Just it's dominant. But Steve, I have we're gonna give the viewers a sneak peek in our basketball topics.
All right.
With me leading the charge, is Joel Embiid is he the best scoring big man of all time?
Is he the best scoring big man of all time?
Yes.
In this generation, I would say so.
Oh, you're bringing generations?
Yeah. I would say he is the MVP right now, for sure. He should be. I don't think we've ever seen a center like this in our generation score this many points the way that he has.
Yeah.
What is he averaging, like 36 points per game right now? But
yeah,
yeah,
in the last
with him on the court,
yeah.
the Sixers are amazing, right? They have like, I don't know.
I think they only have like 3 or 4 losses with him on the court.
Yeah, 3 or 4 losses with him. Like,
Yeah.
that is sensational stuff. When he's off the court, they're not the same team. He's the most valuable player in this
They're
league.
a play-in
Now,
team at best. Yeah.
we got to see him carry this regular season success, though, into the playoffs. He has been able to stay healthy. That's been, the same topic each year where he's not healthy to get over the hump and win in that second round. So I like Joel Embiid. I think he is the most dominant scoring big in our generation, I would say. That's what I would say for Joel Embiid. Dropping 70 on the anniversary of Kobe dropping 81, that's
awesome.
Historic, and it was a great night last night watching that game. So, yeah, big respect to Embiid, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah, that had me in my feels too. Kobe, Kobe's my favorite player all the time, so that was awesome that he dropped 70 when he dropped 81. So that was really cool. As just a Sixer and a Kobe Bryant fan, that was pretty sweet. But yeah, I agree with you. Like in this generation, yes, he is. But if I'm going all time, I would say, yeah, you know what? I would take him. I would say he's the greatest scoring big of all time. Wilt wasn't doing outside mid range, post work, fancy kind of stuff that Embiid's doing right now. He was more throw it into him, let him use his strength and power, and he's taller than everyone. Let him dominate. So yeah, he has the numbers more so. But even last night, like I believe it was only Embiid and Jordan that had like 60 plus and 15 plus rebounds.
Yeah,
I think
I saw that.
So Wilt wasn't
up there with Michael Jordan. Man. Awesome.
They're excluding him, but because I'm pretty sure he'd done that. But that's pretty incredible. But yeah, Wilt's up there in scoring and accomplishments. Gotta give respect to Kareem, like the sky hook. He made that famous. He was great scoring as well, multiple time champion. But and then you got to credit like the Shaqs of the world, the Hakeem Olajuwons. But I just think of like an arsenal, a skill set. It's Embiid. Embiid has the 3-point shot over those guys. He has just as good as footwork as Olajuwon did. He has like a Dirk Nowitzki mid range. He is Kobe Bryant-esque in the mid range for his size, which is unheard of. And he dominates with his size more so this year. He's more aggressive on the rebounding, and that's giving him putbacks on offensive rebounds. He's dominating close range, like a Shaquille O'Neal in some sense. Maybe not as powerful, forceful, but he's still big enough, and he's dunking over guys. He's playing with great size than he has in the past. So, gotta give credit to him. But I think it's, yeah. I'm not saying he's the best big man of all time. I'm not gonna put him in the top 5 yet, but maybe not even the top 10 just now, but maybe when it's all said and done, yeah, he's going to be a top 10 center of all time. But you got to get championships. You got that's what's going to put him in the top 10 with the solidified centers. But as far as scoring, when it's all said and done, yeah, Embiid's going to be a top scoring big man just because he has all the tools, all the arsenal. That's why I think
Yeah. So shout out to Joel Hans Embiid.
70 is ridiculous.
Dropping 70 is ridiculous as a center.
I don't care. I don't care if the Spurs don't really
I
have.
tuned in that game, man. After work, I'm like, bro, I got to watch this. I have to put this on the TV. Just seeing the stat line, like he's already has 50. It's only in the third quarter. I'm like, man, I got to watch this. But yeah, hell of a job. And hopefully we can actually go far in the playoffs and get over the hump with Nick Nurse now at the helm.
Especially the Bucks having Doc Rivers, and if we
breaking news, what?
So if we match up in the second round, let's say if it ended today, right? Bucks will have the second seed, we have the third seed. We play that out. We meet in the semis, right? Assuming, right, Boston wins, they'll play the lowest seed. They'll play like the 4 or 5. Now, I like our chances against Milwaukee, especially now because Doc's lacking in the series adjustments. Now, Embiid has to make it to the second round healthy. That's key because you're going to have Giannis there. You're going to have Dame. You're going to have a solid core there. But if he's healthy and you have Maxey there and Tobias plays the way he's been playing, right? And you got the role players that have been playing well as well. And we got to see what trade deadline moves yet, right?
Yeah, maybe they get another role player.
We'll solidify them. Maybe they can make it out. But in the same with Milwaukee, we got to just see how everything plays out. But I think we're talking about coaching. We're talking about coaching.
Nick Nurse,
I was like, I couldn't believe we got Nick Nurse. And now it's looking like they made the wrong choice with Adrian Griffin. And they fired him. He lost the locker room, it sounded like. There was tension, so they had to let him go. And they're bringing in Doc Rivers now to lead the charge there. So will the locker room improve? Yeah, I guess to a certain extent. He's not so much of a guy that's going to yell at people. Like Kevin Garnett, I believe, said when we had issues, we talked it out in the locker room with each other. He didn't really get it. He didn't really play like the father figure, like diffuse it or anything. He let them settle it themselves. So maybe the locker room situation improves there, but man, they missed out on Nick Nurse. I think if they offered it to Nick Nurse, it was Giannis's call. Giannis wanted Griffin. He picked Adrian Griffin over Nick Nurse and other candidates. I think Doc was there too, and maybe like a Fogel, some other guys. But he picked Adrian Griffin, and the Milwaukee Bucks brass went with it. They hired Griffin. And then for Nurse, it was between the Suns or the Sixers, and he ultimately picked the Sixers to coach Embiid. And I was shocked by that at the time, and it's looking like a tremendous hire. Because I feel like his value is going to really show in those playoff series, right? He does make adjustments. It's always a chess match with him. He's gonna change things up with matchups and getting Joel balls and get the ball in situations that's favorable to him, and minimize Giannis. He's going to put a wall, like the wall. I remember back in his Toronto days where Giannis can't drive into the paint and be as effective that way. He's going to do those kind of things against Milwaukee in that series. So Sixers are very live in that series, just from a coaching, the tactical aspect of the game. They're very much alive, and their talent's right on par to compete with Milwaukee as well, even with a Damian Lillard addition. So yeah.
I'm excited about it. We get to play Doc Rivers hopefully in the playoffs, and we'll probably see him again in the regular season. So
should be. For sure. They're coming to play.
Get your popcorn ready. It's gonna be a fun little movie. But Joel Embiid, man, shout out to him. Hell of a night last night. Future's looking bright. Hopefully in Philadelphia. Hopefully everyone stays healthy. And hopefully we make a move by the trade deadline. It's coming up sometime in February. So, clock's ticking. So they better, get on the call, start calling other front offices and GMs and figure out what's the final piece to get the Sixers over the hump. We will find out. But I think we can end the podcast off there, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big name. It got to be something
Yeah.
proven on the margins. But yes,
Mhm.
we're gonna get more into basketball as the
A little
football
sneak
season
peek.
to round down. We'll do some recaps of like the big topics of the NBA kind of thing. But yeah, we wanted to introduce this segment, and it was a lot of fun. And I thought it was relevant with Joel Embiid popping off for 70. You don't see that every day, right?
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns at 62. That's ridiculous as well. You don't
Yes,
see the scoring has been ridiculous in the league this year. And yeah, we haven't seen a 70 since Devin Booker did it like 4 or 5 years ago. So it doesn't happen that often. So
for sure.
yeah. And for a center, it's incredible.
I know.
But
I think
yeah,
we can
that's
end
the
it there.
podcast.
That is the Benchwire Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. It's a new era, basketball. Talk about the playoffs. Talk about Embiid. But if you guys like this episode, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the Benchwire channel as well on YouTube and follow us on our socials. We got a link tree down below. It's got all our accounts on there. We got Facebook. We love the old people, man. We love them. So,
That's right. We love them.
go follow us on
You
there.
made it seem like we hate them. We love
What?
them.
We love them. Yeah.
Last time you said you made it seem like we hate them.
No. We're gonna clear the air
We
up.
love
No. And then Spotify. We're
I
on there as
don't.
well.
I love you guys.
I love everybody. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
For the young people.
yeah,
Yes.
TikTok. There's gonna be more
Yeah.
reels. All right, there's gonna be more reels. I promise you that. You will see some more in the future. And yeah, we're gonna end it off there. It's getting long. This is the longest podcast I've had in a while. But we'll catch you guys later. Benchwire.
Out, baby.